You already know the decision. The problem is that you keep inviting the old you back into the room to debate it. 5 more minutes. Start tomorrow. Skip this once. You call it flexibility. But the old identity hears something else. I still get a vote. You cannot forge a new life while every old comfort remains at the negotiating table. No more deal. You said you were going to wake up and work before the day got loud. Then the alarm rang and the bargaining began. You said the phone would stay outside the work block. Then you made an exception because one message felt important. You said the offer would go out this week. Then the old fear asked for one more revision. You said the room would reflect the future. Then the old clutter claimed the surface again. None of these moments look dramatic. That is why they are dangerous. The old version rarely storms the gate. It arrives with a reasonable tone. You worked hard yesterday. You deserve a softer standard today. You can become serious after this busy season. You can keep the same habits and still expect a different identity. So you compromise. Not enough to abandon the dream. Just enough to keep proving that the dream has no authority over your next action. Then you wonder why the new version feels fragile. It is fragile because you keep asking it to win elections against a past that has years of practice. A crown cannot be forged while the old metal keeps asking to stay soft. The blacksmith does not heat the steel, lift the hammer, then ask the metal whether transformation still feels convenient. Heat removes the option of remaining unchanged. The strike gives the decision shape. The cooling sets the standard. Identity works the same way. You do not become different because you made a powerful announcement. You become different when the old bargain reaches for the microphone and finds that the meeting is over. This is where many private builders lose years. They think change means feeling certain. It does not. Change means removing certain questions from the daily agenda. Will I work on the thing that matters? Will I keep the promise I made when I was clear? Will I protect the hour? Will I return after a bad day? Those questions drain power when you reopen them every morning. A standard is a decision that no longer needs fresh permission. That does not mean becoming rigid, cruel, or blind to reality. Real life changes. Bodies get tired. Families need you. Plans break. But adaptation is not the same as negotiation. Adaptation protects the mission under new conditions. Negotiation protects the old comfort from the mission. Learn the difference. If you plan to write for an hour and an emergency takes 40 minutes, adaptation says, write for 20. Negotiation says the hour is imperfect, so the promise no longer counts. If the launch needs a correction, adaptation changes the plan. Negotiation hides inside endless refinement so rejection never gets a chance to arrive. If you miss one morning, adaptation returns at the next available block. Negotiation turns one miss into a new identity story. See, this is who I am. No. That is who you rehearsed. Rehearsal can change. The old version of you is not evil. It was built to keep life familiar. It knows your exits. It knows which discomfort makes you reach for distraction. It knows how to make delay sound responsible. Thank it for getting you here if you need to. Then remove its authority. The crown belongs to the standard you obey now. Not the history you keep explaining. End one negotiation today. Not your entire life. One recurring bargain. First, name the exact bargain. Do not write, I need more discipline. Write the sentence the old version actually uses. I will start after I feel ready. I can check the phone and still focus. I need one more week before I publish. Missing once means the system failed. Make the hidden contract visible. Second, identify what the bargain protects. comfort, approval, escape, perfection, the right to avoid being measured. You cannot end a deal you refuse to understand. Do not shame the protection. Name its cost. What has this bargain taken from you in the last 90 days? Hours? Drafts? Offers? Money? Self-trust? Third, write a replacement rule. The rule must be observable. Not, I will be better. Write, the phone stays outside the room for the first 45 minutes. Write, the proposal goes out when the required sections are complete, not when fear disappears. Write, after a missed day, I return at the next scheduled block. Write, before entertainment, I finish the one task named last night. If a camera could not tell whether you followed the rule is too vague. Fourth, obey it once before the old voice builds a case. Do not wait for Monday. Do not create a beautiful tracker first. Do not announce the new standard. Give it one piece of proof today. Move the phone. Send the offer. Clear the surface. Open the file. Return to the block. The first act does not finish the transformation. It changes who is holding the hammer. Finally, prepare for the appeal. The old version will return with better language. This is too strict. This one exception is strategic. You have already proven enough. Answer with the rule, not a speech. The phone stays outside. The draft ships when complete. The next block is the return. Short answers protect standards. Long debates give comfort room to negotiate. Run this rule for 7 days. Keep one honest score. Did you obey it, yes or no? No performance. No punishment. Just proof. Here is the vow. I will not invite the old version to vote on the future I already chose. I will separate adaptation from escape. I will name the bargain. I will replace it with a visible rule. I will give the new standard proof before I give the old comfort another speech. I will return without punishment when I miss. But I will return. The few are not people without doubt. They are people who stop giving doubt executive authority. They do not destroy the past. They stop reporting to it. The old you can remember. The old you can warn. The old you can feel afraid. But it does not get to hold the hammer. Choose the bargain. Write the rule. Obey it once today. Then do it again when the appeal arrives. The crown is not forged by what you intend. It is forged by what no longer requires negotiation. No more deals. Give the future your final answer.